Well, just so you know, I did watch your short.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I actually jumped when that hand comes up and grabs
Oh, really?
from the
Oh,
water.
that's
I was
awesome.
like, ugh. That got me. And I really like the music. It reminded me of what's it? Suspiria. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that one. I've seen a lot of the kind of art house horror though, and I like that vibe. I
Yeah,
was kind of going along like I wanted to kind of the visuals of like The Witch. It's very cold and snowy and unforgiving and everything.
Yeah,
And
dude. No, it was cold. It was a cold movie.
yeah.
I really liked it, and I thought the what did you call the character? The oh, what'd you credit the character as? The tall spooky thing.
Oh, the Sentry.
Yeah, I thought that was really creepy. Like,
Yeah.
dude, fuck that. Like, there's no way in hell.
That's awesome.
No way in hell, man. But yeah. So no, we'll just talk, and then
Are we recording now? Is it
yeah,
working?
we're recording. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We're recording. Why not just say go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Okay. I am J.R. Curtis. Yeah. I don't know how to introduce myself. What would be better?
That works.
That works? All right, cool. This is all going in the video, I'm sure.
This is all going in the video, yeah. I don't know how to edit any of the video out without being choppy, you know? So
yeah.
This is going to be a first for me, too, because this is my first time doing this via video, number one. Okay. So with audio, I could have a lot of the freedom to go in and edit stuff and chop it up and make it blend. Video, I'm like, wow, that's kind of hard to do that without, you know. So, yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So what do you do? So you and I were just talking about your short film.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give a little detail on that? And
yeah, sure. Satanico is a short film that I did with a company that me and Aiden Tyler Hatch and Shane Morrison do together called Free Reign. And it's our first short film that we did all together. And we shot it back in January, late January or early February, I want to say. And it really came out really good, and people seem to like it. I don't know how many official selections or awards that it's gotten, but I put a lot of them on the poster, and it's like running out of room. So I'm glad that people like it. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, no, so yeah, like I said, I saw it today after I got off work. Mm-hmm. I know you asked me about 2 months ago, maybe.
Yeah. You
asked me to watch it and give my thoughts, and I totally spaced it off. And
no worries.
I'm sorry for that. I really liked it though, and it looks like you guys had fun. Like my biggest thought was that'd be such a bitch to film in the snow.
Yeah.
And you and Aiden are laying in the snow quite a bit.
Yeah, and in the water, I drag him through the water. I get pulled into the water, and then like you have about 10 minutes before your leather on your cowboy boots starts to soak all the water in, and so the leather's porous, so it's soaking all the water in. And then when we would go back to his house after shooting each day, we put him in front of the fireplace, but that shrinks the leather, and so jamming him back on your feet the next day, it was so hard.
How long did it take you guys to shoot that?
I think we did 3 days.
3 days? And
yeah.
What month did you shoot?
Late January or early February.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you got it done that quick.
Yeah, I think I had a rough cut. As soon as I got the footage, I had a rough cut in 2 days. I was really excited to do it. And I did the music myself, and I edited it myself. So it was really easy to have a quick turnaround. Like I've done stuff before where I ship it off to somebody else to do, and it takes a lot longer. So finally I just like learned how to do those things myself, so I don't have to wait for somebody else. Yeah. But I still like being collaborative. If somebody wants, like, if somebody in the group or something has something like that they want to contribute, I'm all for it. But sometimes you got to do stuff yourself if you want to get it done quick.
Yeah. There's a scene where you're dragging Aiden across, and it's like one long shot, it's like a wide shot, and you're just dragging him across. I'm just like, oh my god, like that'd be so fun. Just be part of that, So it looks like you guys had fun, and
it was fun.
Very well.
We made the stupidest sled ever. It was only after it that I was like, why didn't we just use one of these giant pieces of bark for the basis? Instead of a bunch of sticks.
You learned that afterward, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of it was shot out of sequence. Like the sled pulling is all shot in the daytime. So we shot that, and then we went home and had dinner or whatever. Then Aaron came, the guy that's the big spooky guy, Aaron Radel.
Yeah.
And he's so he came, and then we went back over there. We went and found our sled wherever we stashed it.
Did you guys?
Sorry, go ahead.
Did you guys do was there anybody running the sound, or was that all ADR'd?
No, it was all. We didn't have a boom. We rented lavs, mostly. So it's either lavs or camera audio that I cleaned up a bit.
Yeah.
And then yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say I thought it sounded pretty decent. So
yeah,
I didn't know if you're ADRing it, because on the credits it doesn't say who boomed it. It just says is it Shane's wife?
His girlfriend, Shyte. Yeah, she was. I mean, everybody on those shorts, they kind of do a few jobs at once.
Yeah.
And no, she really helped out. She crushed it on that film for sure. And everybody, I ran sound on stuff that I wasn't in. Sometimes I'd be watching the levels, and then there was no lighting, thank God, to rig up. It was all fire for lights.
So I was going to ask you that. So there is, it's exciting because like the contrast of the fire compared to the darkness, it gives you such a spooky, like lonesome vibe, which I really dug. Number one, are those were real torches then?
Yep. I have right. You can't see it on the camera, but I still have a scar right about there from those things because they drip like ridiculous, and so I burned my hand pretty good on that one.
And how did you make them?
We just had I just had a bunch of leftover like logs at my dad's house from a tree that he cut down, and so I made a few of those and just wrapped up old shirts on them and soaked them in lighter fluid and shot it.
Is that why? So I don't know anything about lighting stuff on fire.
Yeah,
but is that why there are some shots where the flame would kind of drip onto the snow?
Yeah, there was. Well, we did a lot of different material. We had a lot of shirts and stuff, but then there was also this old decrepit RV that somebody left out in the woods. And there was a couch in there that was destroyed. And so when we ran out of shirts, we just ripped fabric off the couch, wrapped them around the thing. And so it was like, and those reeked. Like if that hit you in the smoke, hit you in the face, you'd be like eyes watering, coughing. It was like almost that material on your grandma's couch, like that orange kind of like woven material. It was, it was interesting.
That's nasty, dude.
Yeah.
Where did you guys shoot that at then?
Morgan. So Aiden has his parents' house out in Morgan, and so we just stayed there, and the woods aren't too far from there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then we also did the top of Trapper's Loop, which I don't know if you know Weber County too well.
I don't know.
So Trapper's Loop is the mountain that goes up to Snow Basin, and then Pine View is the reservoir over there. So that's the lake the frozen lake we're walking across in the movie.
How frozen was it?
I think it was, I read the fishing reports because you can actually look on the fishing reports to see the ice thickness, and it was like 14 inches or something.
So you did your research before stepping out there.
Yeah, it was a warmer day, and so there was a lot of slush on the top layer, but I grew up ice fishing and going outdoors and all that stuff, so I wasn't too worried. My wife was really scared about it. She was like, I'm not going to be there that day. And when I went in the water, she didn't want to be there either. I had about a 10-minute run all the way back to the car, dripping wet like that.
Jeez, I bet it was freezing cold.
It was so funny because it was like sunny and nice, and I was actually getting pissed because we were trying to shoot that scene, and we shot it with the sun overcast, and then the sun decided to come out, and so we had to wait for the lighting to go back. And then literally the second I go into the water and run out, it starts blowing wind, and it was a nice day up until then, and it was just like, here's have this one.
They're like, it's like, oh, you can have this beautiful day, but
yeah, as soon as you get wet,
go without a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. What inspired you to create How do you pronounce it?
Satanico.
Satanico. Okay.
Yeah.
So how'd you come up with the idea?
I've always thought it'd be a cool idea to put cowboys and Western themes in a scary situation.
Right.
Because it really is just this unknown. The woods are scary. The outdoors is scary in movies sometimes, but we have this whole period in history where there was just guys wandering the wilderness, and there's got to be somewhere to throw in something scary in there. And the name, I don't remember how came up with the name. I think it was like there was a character on like some sort of movie that was like Carmen Satanico or something, some cheesy grindhouse movie. And I'm like, Satanico, that'd be cool. Let's just write a cool, scary horror thing around that title. And it came out great. Love Shane's character in that one. He's the trapper. That was like my favorite part of that. When we put Shane in that wardrobe, I was like, oh my God, that is perfect.
Dude, and it seems like Shane does a lot of like the old school Western kind of films that I've seen. Like films and stuff.
Yeah, he does. We all kind of particularly like those. And Aiden has a ton of wardrobe pieces that match that, and so we end up making it because we just have a lot of the stuff for it. Like I have some guns myself. That revolver is my dad's gun. I have another revolver, and they're just fun. I like them, and we're in the beginnings of setting this up. I'm currently making like the feature length screenplay of that we're going to want to try and shoot next winter to do Satanico, but like a full feature length one. And so that's going to be pretty cool. I think we're trying pretty hard to make that happen.
Well, that sounds fun. It's fun seeing Aiden in this too, because when I worked with him, he was in my short as the douchebag boyfriend kind of character.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And so seeing him do these westerns where he just full on kills it, like what a talented guy, dude. Like you're working with a lot of talented people.
Yeah, no, Aiden's great for sure. Aiden's always good to have on set because he helps out with everything else too. That's the kind of people that I usually surround myself with. They're people that'll do more than one job because unfortunately the thing you need most, money, is the thing that's always the most scarce on indie shorts. And so it's always good to have those kind of people around that'll just pick up something and keep going.
Yeah.
And keep working. So
yeah, no, exactly. And so that's fun. All right. How long have you been doing film then?
I want to say like 3 years. I think I did my first crummy short in 2017.
What was that about?
It was just I think it was 2017 or 2018. I did the thing with Chelsea Jerkowitz up at this cabin that I had, this horror movie that we shot. And that was like my first thing. I did some like other kind of videos here and there, but we did this horror movie, and then the person that owns the footage, it's just still in their backlog. I don't know if that'll ever come out, but that was the jump start into it. And just been kind of getting onto whatever project I can ever since.
You sound like the kind of guy who wears a lot of hats.
Me?
Yeah. So you like to act, you like to direct, you like to write, produce.
Yeah. I do a little bit of everything. I do music stuff, writing things. Really just there's always that's always that thing with art, trying to make it in the art business or industry or world or whatever you want to call it, that it's very slim chances of it happening. And so I guess in my head I was just like, if there's a slim chance, 5 slim chances is better than 1 slim chance, I guess. And so just learning how to do different things is helpful, I think, and it's fun too. Because like sometimes I can't do film things, so I'll write a new song, or sometimes I can't do this, so I'll do this. It helps occupy my time a little bit more.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing music then?
Music, my first band, I think it was 2015, called Samsara, which we were like heavy metal kind of stuff, and we did some shows. We never recorded anything. Then I left that band, and then we did Dysfunction, which is the band that we put on an album, did a tour, some stuff like that. And so probably 2015. So what's that, 5 years now? Good Lord.
Do you play the guitar or everything?
Yeah, guitar. I can play some piano. That's what I usually record scores with is, if you know a basic score to start a scale, you can make a score. It's easy now with all the programs.
And how long have you been doing that though? Like What have you been practicing music since you were young, like a child?
Yeah, when I was little, I played piano for like 3 or 4 years, and then I hated it. I wanted to quit it so bad, and I wish I wouldn't have now. Like my mom always told me I would, but I did that. Didn't play anything for years. I did skateboarding. Like I'd go to contests or just be out with my friends. Like I just did skateboarding for like 4 or 5 years. And then I think I was like 18. I was working at Papa John's, and my friend was showing me like tablature on guitar, and it was really easy. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I bought a little dinky guitar off KSL for $50, and then just really exploded from there. Sometimes that's usually how it happens. I'll find a new sort of hobby, and then it's like, this is all I want to do forever.
And has that always been the case with filmmaking, or is that just like a newer pursuit?
No, filmmaking. I mean, I've always wanted to make movies. Even like, I'm sure my mom can turn up VHSs from me begging her to use the family video camera to make a Star Wars lightsaber fight or something. And so, yeah, I've always wanted to do movies. I guess it was something that I didn't realize that I could do. And just slowly finding like-minded people here in Utah has really helped that. And then just the number of sets that I've, been on has helped me know what, like, the mistakes that I've made and the things I've learned from that. It's given me a bit more of like, okay, I can do this or I can do this, and to kind of take more sizable bites in film, because you can get in over your head real quick with film.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. I remember we used to have an old VHS camcorder.
Yeah.
And we used to always, it was like me and the neighborhood kids would used to always do newscasts.
Oh yeah.
And try to like make up these news stories and be like, well, today this happened,
Yeah.
And then we would like at the time we didn't know anything about editing, so we just watch it like on the little viewfinder and be like, we made something.
Yeah. But ours was, that's the same thing, because you had to start shooting, right? Like we'd rewind and then shoot it again, and then it would cut to it. And sometimes there'd be like a frame or two of the thing you shot before, and so it'd be like blip, blip. And yeah, we did like a cooking show a couple times. We made cookies, filming it on my mom's VHS recorder.
Oh, that's so fun, dude. I love that. And I think it was in 2010, I think, or 2009. My mom bought like a JVC digital recorder from RC Willey.
Oh yeah,
really kind of shitty quality. But like, I'd use that to make. I mean, that's why I used to start my YouTube channel back in 2008, 2009.
Yeah,
and like those videos are so awful. Like it makes me cringe.
There's still ones that content. There's still stuff that I mean, I dug up my old YouTube channel the other day. It's mostly just skate videos now, but there's like some dumb ones. Like I'm running at the camera, like slow motion. It's like slow motion, and then I rip open this button-up shirt I have, and I have a Superman shirt underneath, and it's just the Superman soundtrack playing.
Oh God,
what is wrong with me,
dude? That's so great, though. I mean, like, especially back then, like we didn't care at all what the content was. We're just like, we want to make something.
Or you want to make your friends laugh. You just film your jokes and stuff, and
yeah, and like there's an inside video that me and my friend at the time once released, and then he took it down because it was super awful and embarrassing. But I remember I used Windows Video Movie Maker to edit that whole thing, and then put like the cheesiest font in there and like the crappiest music.
Oh yeah. And Windows Movie Maker, I used that for years.
Yeah, and it got the job done,
Yeah.
And then I think after that, I think my family bought like a Mac.
Yeah.
So I used iMovie and kind of learned on iMovie.
Yeah.
And then eventually it just evolved to Adobe Premiere. But
yeah,
I mean, you have to start somewhere. So I'm glad that you can relate to that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I remember not even movie making. Like it was like I was 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And I was like, I saw like a YouTube video and somebody had lightsabers or Wolverine claws in it or something. I'm like, how do they do that? And I found Adobe After Effects or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I gave my parents' computer AIDS or something, like downloading Adobe Premiere, whatever, onto their tiny little computer. And I looked at it. I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. So it's funny that I use those programs now, because I remember when I first downloaded it on, they scared the hell out of me. I'm like, I have no idea where to start on this.
Yeah, seriously. I remember there was actually some guy that I bought a Mac laptop.
Yeah.
On KSL. was like in 10th grade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a software engineer of some sort, and he had all the Adobe Cloud on there, or not the cloud, just like the Adobe CS5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, if you delete these, like you're not gonna have them back, so don't delete these off the computer. And that's what I really used to learn Premiere was like that. But
back when you could buy it and own it and not rent it month to month.
Oh God, yeah. And then I remember though, like seeing iMovie. I think it was iMovie 11. I think.
Yeah.
Like they had, or iMovie 6. I don't remember which one it was, but they had a lightning effect, and I'm like, that's so cool. You could do like Palpatine, you know, like.
Yeah. Yep. That's funny.
That's fun. I love that. What was a movie that inspired you then, like growing up?
Growing up, well, Star Wars for sure. Always. That's 1.5 million people's inspiration for film or art or whatever.
Yeah.
I really liked Indiana Jones, and my favorite one is the worst one or I guess not now. It used to be the worst one was the Temple of Doom. And people think that's the worst one. Anybody that I'm like, that's my favorite one, they're like, that one's the worst. And now it's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the worst one, no question. But Temple of Doom is my favorite one by far.
See, and like, so I haven't seen the Crystal Skull, but my least favorite of the originals was the third one with Sean Connery.
Really?
That's the least watched one for me.
Oh yeah, I like them all really, but like the other two, Raiders and Last Crusade, are both equal. But Temple of Doom is awesome. Actually, like when the heart's getting ripped out in that movie, I kind of used some inspiration for the soundtrack for when the creatures and the thing at the end. You can hear a lot of those weird, almost Middle Eastern instruments and choir and everything.
Yeah, that's fun. That movie terrified me too.
Oh yeah, I liked movies like that. I liked being scared, and I liked like something coming out of the scariness because there was those like all those old Disney movies or older 80s movies. There's very scary moments in it, and I think that's very more reminiscent of actual life. It's more realistic, I think, and it's a little bit more horror oriented. But there's going to be scary parts in life where you're helpless or feel terrified and everything like that. And I don't know, I like to see that in movies, maybe a bit more stylistic visually, but I love movies that have kind of a horror themed sequence in it. There's like I think a movie with the scariest scene in a non-horror like children's movies, like The Prince of Egypt. Did you ever watch that cartoon growing up?
Yeah, I don't remember any of it, but
there's a sequence when he wakes up and he's like 2D on like a hieroglyphic and he's running from like crocodiles and things, and it's horrifying, but it's awesome.
I think there's one Disney movie that I remember watching in my grandma's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Watcher in the Woods.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
And it was like totally like they pulled out like this old TV, you know, and put it in the middle of the lawn under a full moon in the summer.
Oh yeah.
Like, all the cousins were like huddled around the TV.
Yeah.
And my cousin and my dad were throwing rocks in the bushes. And like at the time, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like this is sketch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm like, that's like the Blair Witch for little kids. Like,
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I got into so many horror movies that I probably shouldn't have. Like my parents had like a whole drawer of movies they just recorded off TV onto a VHS because they and so it just have like written in pen on the side of it, The Mummy or whatever. And I just go up to my dad, be like, can I watch this one? He'd be like, yeah, whatever. Like, you're not really thinking about it. I remember I saw The Fall House of Usher, which is an old Vincent Price movie. And that thing is creepy. There's somebody who gets like buried alive and they're clawing the inside of the coffin and everything. So maybe I am a little bit twisted. That's why I always want to do these scary movies and stuff. But
that's what I blame it on too. Is like all the like I remember watching my first R-rated movie that I saw in the theater that I can remember was Dawn of the Dead.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was in 4th grade then.
Oh, the 2001 one, like the
one that Zack Snyder directed, and nobody gives him credit for that, and James Gunn wrote. Like, I think that's it's a pretty solid movie.
I've seen it. I like the original one a lot. It's got a lot of charm to it. The one in the mall, like they're both in the mall, but that older one, that one's cool. I like the opening sequence on that one too, in the apartment complex.
Yeah, and like I remember, was that a drive-in of all things?
Oh yeah,
yeah. And like I was told to go to sleep, but I like held the blanket really close to my face so I could see through it. And like I had nightmares of zombies for like 2 weeks after that.
I remember I got taken to see Fantastic Four in the drive-in, and something else was playing on because at drive-in you can watch other things. There's all those other screens, and so I was like watching like the other movies. Like I'm watching a rated R movie right now.
And like one of my favorite moments though, because with the drive-in, like you could stand up, not getting people's ways.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was a double feature of something, and then I think it was The Village, like the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, God.
And I remember sneaking around the van to where my dad was sitting.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And like, he screamed so loud, and the people around us were like, what the fuck?
That's great.
Dude, bring drive-ins back, right?
I know I heard Ryan Templeman's trying to do some sort of drive-in event for filmmakers here.
I hope he is. I know. I commented on that, and he was asking like what movies people would want to see, and I think The Sandlot was pretty high up there.
Yeah, I know. I saw Hereditary was on the list too, and that movie's awesome. I watched Midsommar too finally, and that was amazing as well.
Yeah. Imagine like, yeah, like I mean, like if it was like The Sandlot, as like the first movie for like all
and
the
then
family.
And then Hereditary's the second film.
Dude, like how great would that be? Like that's like a perfect double feature, because like with Dawn of the Dead it was Finding Nemo, and then it was Dawn of the Dead.
Oh yeah, it's the Late Show.
Yeah
I want to, when the theaters open back up, I don't know, I want to try and get some other filmmakers to show some stuff, but I live right by the Puri's Egyptian Theater in Ogden, and I'd love to do some sort of showing there with Satanico. At least I know everybody's seen it at this point, but I really, the quarantine thing happened, and I was bummed because I was like, I really wanted this one to be seen on a movie screen. I was going to rent out one of the things or something and do an event, but now it's just on Amazon. And so I would like to still see it on a theater screen someday, even if I'm the only one in there.
Yeah, there's something cool about seeing it on a theater screen. Because I remember Night of Adventure premiered at the Utah Film Festival last year. Mm-hmm. And it was was an interesting experience to like sit there in the very back, because like you don't want to see anybody else's reaction. You're just like, I want to melt and not be part of this at all. Yeah. And just like hearing the reactions most of the time, I mean or the applause afterwards, like that was really fulfilling. Yeah. So I do think every filmmaker should see their own film.
Yeah, I saw another one of my films in the theater, and it was great.
Yeah.
That I don't know if you ever, that Thicker Than Water movie, did you ever hear about that one when it was?
I have not, no.
There's that one's a gnarly movie, both editing wise and topic wise. But when I showed him the Broovies or whatever, it's one I wrote and like directed, like partially. Uh-huh. And when I was sitting in the back and just I could feel the tension in the theater, and just everybody was so uncomfortable because it was a gnarly scene, and I was just like, oh, I want this. This is awesome. This feels amazing.
And that's how I feel like I'm more of a writer than I am like behind the camera, Yeah. But like when you write like a super fucked up scene in a horror script, mm-hmm. and you just see people cringe and just like, ugh. Yeah, like, that's so satisfying. Just like see their reaction to that, because it then like pumps you up more to be like, what can this actually be on the big screen? Yeah, and like how are people actually going to react like once it's done properly? Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
The Rona. No, I'm
it can be transmitted through computers now.
Yeah, instead of AIDS to the computer.
Yeah,
it's the Rona.
When you download Adobe Premiere.
So, okay, I know. So you promote your stuff on Facebook quite a bit, mm-hmm. and I see that you have a book out on Amazon as well.
Yeah,
this is what I mean by you're a man who wears many hats. I mean, you don't just stick to filmmaking or music. I mean, you also kind of write prose stuff, novelizations. So let's go. Yeah, want to dive into that and tell me more about that.
That one, it's definitely a first attempt. If you've ever read, I don't know if you've ever read it or anything. I
have not. No.
It gets good and bad reviews on Amazon. I took it down for a while, and I kind of punched up some things, but I guess I keep it on there now because it's important to, I guess, not to hide what you're doing, artistically. But that's just a story that I wrote back in 2016. That was like the first kind of creative thing I did in that way, was a book. And you want me to say like what it's about and stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean if you want to, yeah, like. Yeah.
Oh, that one's so it's this like kind of isolated ski town. There's a creature in the woods picking them off, one by one, and these kind of I guess townspeople or the citizens or whatever, they have kind of a strained relationship with each other. A few of the key characters do, and they have to kind of get past that to hunt this thing down and stop it, And so it's a monster book.
How long did it take you to write that?
Quite a while. I can't remember. Too long ago now.
That's always fun. I think that's cool though. I mean, on my bucket list, it is to release a book of some sort like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool that you've already done that. And I'm trying to get more back into reading novels because after writing screenplays and reading screenplays, it's a different writing format than like what you see in the novels. And so it kind of fucks up with your grammar and your writing. Like, tried to go back, So I'm trying to go back a little bit and kind of keep the balance between the two forms.
Yeah, I'm doing one thing right now. I have a couple scripts that I'm like, okay, the budget for this is astronomical. I have no way I'm ever going to shoot this. I'm turning them into novels because that's the only way they'll ever see anything at the moment. And it definitely is a whole beast converting a screenplay where it's show, don't tell to a book where you can tell people exactly what the character's thinking. You can tell them exactly what's happening, everything like that, instead of, writing more to the visual side of things in a screenplay.
Yeah, because I feel like writing a screenplay, a lot of the stuff is implied. Like you should know what the character is thinking based on their actions, right?
Yeah, well, and you don't want to put out their dialogue writing for that thing. Like, I am angry because this is like, you don't want to get crazy wordy on the dialogue. It needs to be quick.
Yeah, because I know with like exposition kills everything in a movie, and I know like it's very necessary, and like the trick is to find when you can drop it in there and like how clever you can hide it,
and also letting the audience draw their own conclusions as well. Right.
And so like one of my favorite scripts that I read last year was The Marriage Story, because it's just so like it feels so grounded with the exposition, like it feels real enough and believable. And I don't know, I like it though.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that you have a book though. And that's what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
How long is it?
That one, I have 2 books out. I have a novella, which is about 100 pages.
Okay.
And then that novel is probably 280 or 290.
Did you use Word to write it, or is there a software for writing novels?
If there is, I'm novice, in the realm of writing in that style or form or of anything. I do it mostly because it's fun, and I like to put out stories in one way or another. So I just use Word, I think, and format it. When you submit it to like Amazon, you have to do all these formatting things. So I don't remember how I did those, and then the cover design, I think that cover I actually paid somebody to do, but
the cover looks really cool.
Oh, thanks.
like I've read that part, and I've also read like the back cover,
Oh yeah,
because I've scrolled through it like quite a few times, and I'm like, do I buy it? Do I have the funds to buy it? Like I'm tempted to buy it. Like I'll probably buy it eventually. But the cover looks fun, dude.
Be gentle. It is a first attempt, and I was gonna go through and just beat up all the things that I did wrong, but at the same time, I don't want to special edition any of my things ever. I don't want to George Lucas it up like, how can I fix this? How can I fix this? And so, like, I really am pretty against going back and changing things after the fact, whether they're right or wrong. Yeah. And so definitely be gentle is the first work for sure.
And there's no reason to be critical at all, Going on that though, so did those reviews ever bring you to like a new low that you never thought you would experience?
The bad reviews?
Yeah. Like, do you pay attention to reviews at all, or do you just use them to be like, well, I could do that better, like I agree, or?
I'm very stubborn. And, but I'm also, I'm not sure what the word is that I'm looking for, but I can let things like that get me down pretty well. Like the criticism and the good reviews can, make things fluctuate quite a bit. But I am stubborn, and so when somebody will tell me this is wrong, then I want to do it even more. Like, you know what? I'm not going to fix that now. But it's hard because I'm at kind of a point right now. It's getting different, and it's crazy. It's changing by the day where I'm like trying to beat people over the head to look at my stuff. As many artists will tell you, is mostly 90% of your job is badgering family and friends to look at your art.
Yeah.
And but all of a sudden it's been showing up more and more now, and people are really liking it. And I'm waiting to see. I haven't gotten a ton of critical reviews on my films before, and so I'll see. I'm sure I'll react to it the same way. They do get you down, but you can't let them that much. But you can't also you shouldn't let the good reviews go to your head either.
No, because sometimes the good reviews get stuff wrong anyway. They're like, "Oh, I like this. This is what they're going for," and you're like, "That's not what I was going for." Like,
yeah. Well, even if they tell you that you're the best in the world, you shouldn't believe it, because you can't tell yourself in the opposite. When somebody tells you you're the biggest pile of shit in the world, you're like, well, I don't believe that, but I do believe the same Joe Schmo telling me I'm the best in the world. Like, you can't believe reviews one way or another, good or bad, too much.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, dude. I know when Night of Adventure was released, somebody gave it a 1 star in IMDb.
Yeah.
But they didn't leave a review.
Oh.
And that was very haunting to me, like seeing that. I'm like, why the fuck would you leave a 1 star review but not say anything about it? Like, you pussy. I was really upset by it. But, and then now I'm just like, fuck it. Like, it is what it is. Move on.
Yeah, it definitely, for sure. And wherever your career goes, and as big or as small as it gets, there's always going to be critics, and also like yes people, or people with good intentions, but you just can't let either go to your head too much.
Yeah. With your script that you're writing now, was Satanico. Satanico.
Either way is right? Fine.
I feel like I said that right.
Yeah.
Is that your first feature then?
First feature screenplay, or?
Yeah.
No, I have probably 6 or 7 feature scripts in my catalog, and a couple that would be doable on a shoestring budget. But I didn't even have a feature script for this one. I was planning on doing a different one for my first feature film. And then everybody exploded with how much they like this film. And I'm like, why not do this one? I could do it easier. It doesn't require very much.
Yeah.
As far as budget wise.
And what was the budget for that, if you don't mind me asking?
For Satanico?
Yeah.
There's probably around $1,000, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What camera did you shoot on? Dude, those low light scenes, like the low lighting, because the lighting is a bitch, especially in darkness.
Yeah.
But like that came across very like clean.
Yeah.
Compared to being grainy.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you shoot on?
We shot on a Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro.
Nice.
And then we had Sony Cine lenses as well. And so those super wides, I think we were on like a 15 millimeter or something. And so it's just way opened up. And I don't know, like my favorite shot in the movie, I think, next to like Shane's Evil Dead homage, which is what I did with when he glides up onto the thing.
Dude, that was such a cool effect. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That one, there's 2 nods to, because I love the Evil Dead trilogy, the original ones with Bruce Campbell. Yeah. There's 2 nods in there in the film, and one of them's him gliding across the snow on the sled it was just Aiden on his hands and knees pushing him underneath the camera. He was just standing up on a sled. Oh, and then we sped it up in post, and
you love it, dude. I would never guess that. Like I thought you were taking out frames and stuff to make it appear fast, but I had no idea that's how you guys did that.
Yeah, we just pushed him on a sled and real slow, and then I racked focus to his face when he got to the camera, and then I was like, okay, 300% speed in post or whatever.
I thought that was a really cool effect. Like I smiled at that.
Oh, well, thanks, man. It was all real blanks too. That was another accomplishment for me. It was no CGI muzzle flashes. It was all real blanks fired with the smoke and everything. And so I thought that looked great.
That's so cool. And I saw that Taylor did your makeup.
Yeah, Taylor's done a lot of projects for me. Taylor's great, amazing, always.
Because I worked. So when I was in college, she did my short film, and it involved the actress's neck to be slit.
Oh yeah.
And we had to figure out how to put blood in her mouth too, because like she's dead, but like like blood's pouring out everywhere. And so she put the makeup there, and that's how I know Taylor is just from like a small project like that. When the actress knew her too, of all things, and that's how we got her. It's because the actress knew her.
Oh, nice.
So it's Taylor cool to see Taylor do all this.
Taylor does great work. I'll work with Taylor until she won't work with me anymore.
That's fair, dude. Do you have a favorite genre then? Is it just horror?
Horror, and I like grittier kind of things like revenge flicks or darker ones. I don't know. I like the gritty kind of stuff. It's very entertaining to me. Or a lot of times I'll like just a little piece out of a film. Like I watched that Mandy one with Nicolas Cage recently. Didn't like it very much at all. There was a couple scenes in it that I really liked though.
Dude, that movie's metal as fuck.
It's cool. I think they should have ramped up the speed on it a little bit. It was really slow going for what I thought I was in for.
Yeah.
And it took a while to get going. And I wanted those, what are those biker guys? They get killed in like 2 seconds. So I was like, I thought they were going to be like a lot scarier. He kills them in 5 seconds.
I think the best review I read, I think it was one of my friends who put it on Letterboxd. It's like Slipknot meets Mad Max.
It's like, I saw the pitch for it. It's like there's a scene in it where Nicolas Cage drinks vodka and yells for 5 minutes straight. Like, and that's it. That's all you need to know.
In his whitey tighties, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, in his underwear. Yep.
I love that movie. I saw that at the Tower Theater because they were having like a.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it was sold out, and nobody knew what to expect, and so I think a lot of people were taking it serious at first.
Yeah.
But then the more that the movie gave into like how not serious it actually is, and people start clapping, and like to me, I'm like, oh, this is a cult movie. Like, this is gonna be a movie that's gonna be screened randomly at theaters, and people are gonna be there to fucking pack it out, you know?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. There's some movies like that. Those cult movies are always super fun.
Oh, they're fun. Have you seen The House That Jack Built?
No, I don't like the kind of sexual torture and depravity kind of things like that. I know what you're referring to. The one with Matt Dillon, right? Where he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones where serial killer ones I don't know. The violence and gore I like it a lot more when it's not really one-sided. I don't like torture or serial killers very much. Like, so I didn't end up watching it.
Yeah. I saw that with, do you know Landon?
Landon Caston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw that with him, and it was like the director's cut. It was like the cut that got booed at Cannes, right?
Yeah.
And I know halfway through that film, the audience is very split.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I'm like, dude, like this filmmaker is such a troll. Like that's the best way I describe him.
Well, that's what he does. Lars von Trier.
Pushes buttons, yeah, dude.
It's Lars, right?
Yeah. He'll just push buttons just for the sake of pushing buttons. And I remember I laughed at the scene because it was so ridiculously like over the top, like not real at all.
Yeah.
And it involves him freezing his son and like trying to morph his face like with rigor mortis.
Oh my gosh.
I started laughing because I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, how can people like be offended by this?
I like movies that are more sparing on their gore are a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
As far as like Saw is terrible. The new Evil Dead movie, like the 2013 one, amazing. One of my favorite modern horror films.
I thought you were going to talk shit on that, dude. I was like, dude.
No, that one was fantastic. It was gory, but it wasn't to the point where you're just bored by it. It needs to have that desired effect.
Oh, yeah. No, and they totally gave into that, too. I mean, like, the best way I describe that movie is when, at the very end, you know, when the demon comes out of underground and it's raining blood.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, not only is it raining blood, but like she tears off her arm, so blood's squirting out even more.
Yeah.
And then she has the chainsaw with like one epic line, and then blood squirts out even more in there. And I'm like, dude, they were just fucking going for the blood. Like, they knew that from the start.
I think until Chapter 2 came out, they were the movie that held the world record for most fake blood used on a film set.
Yeah, and it broke that with like the bathroom scene, if I remember.
I think so, yeah.
But that's so fun. I love it. Are you gonna do you plan on scoring other people's films then, or do you just do that for yourself?
If they want me to, you know. I put my score reel on the filmmakers and actors page from time to time and just say, hey, I'm pretty cheap, affordable, you know, I'll do some songs for you. So I don't think I've done anybody else's ever. No, I've done like some, not for a film, but I did like a jingle for somebody's YouTube show and some other stuff like that, but I haven't been able to do a full film for anybody yet.
Is that on your bucket list?
It might be, you know, we'll see what I really like doing everything that I do. And so if music falls off and doesn't end up being the thing that I do forever, I'm fine with it. But, you know, if it ends up happening, it ends up happening.
Yeah. And so where do you hope pursuing film and writing and your music? Like, where do you hope that will take you next? Or where do you see it taking you next, at least?
As far as like personal life, monetarily, everything like that, or project wise, or location wise.
It's just like whatever you feel resonates with that question.
Where it will take me next is to test me over and over again, like it always has. I'll go in thinking I know what's going to happen, and then everything but that happens. So I'll learn new lessons, as always.
That's always the takeaway.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself like doing just like sticking to like one genre, or do you see yourself expanding that?
I'd expand it. I love horror, and it's also the cheapest kind of film to make.
Yeah.
But I watch comedies. I love comedies. I bawled at Fault in Our Stars. I like all kinds of movies. If I feel like there's something beyond the camera and what I'm seeing, like some substance or something real there, then I enjoy it. It doesn't matter if it's rated G or rated R. I'll enjoy it regardless.
Yeah. I actually cried in a Disney movie recently.
Yeah.
It was Onward.
Onward? Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
You should check it out. I mean, if you have Disney Plus, you should check it out.
Yeah, I need to get Disney Plus and watch The Mandalorian.
You haven't seen The Mandalorian yet?
No, not yet.
Dude. Dude, I almost put the ringtone as my ringer on my phone. Or not the ringtone, what do you call it? The theme song.
The theme song.
You're like, yeah, you almost put the ringtone, huh?
My theme song is the theme from Ash vs. Evil Dead is my ringtone.
Is the TV show?
Yeah, the Ash vs. Evil Dead one.
I haven't seen that show yet. That's on my list, though.
It's good. They got canceled too early, but it's good.
Do you hope they make a sequel to the new Evil Dead?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I keep talking about the Evil Dead over and over again in this interview, but I do enjoy that film.
It's a great movie. I remember watching the first one and like somebody's bones break. Like they're both and it's all red oatmeal is what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep.
I think I like more just the idea behind that is Sam Raimi. He wrote it. He shot it for nothing. It took him like 5 years to make because they kept running out of money. But, they're out in the middle of nowhere. This cabin has no heating. I read by the end of it, they'd burned almost all the prop furniture and everything in the fireplace to keep warm. Because it's just and then it was so cold that Bruce Campbell's sleeve was soaked with blood. It froze and his shirt actually snapped. Like when he tried to move his arm, it broke his shirt from freezing from the blood.
Holy shit. Dude. Indie filmmaking.
Yeah. Texas Chainsaw has a lot of ones of those too. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an awesome film. I think people hear the words and they think Gorefest, but the first one's really not that gory.
No, it's tame.
Yeah, it's pretty tame, and it's also an awesome lesson in indie filmmaking. There's some great, ideas in it. If you watch it, if you're an indie filmmaker, there's ways that you can be like, I could shoot something like this by doing this like he did or making it cheaper. And yeah, it's cult classics.
Toby Hooper for the win for that one.
Yeah, Toby Hooper. Did he die or no? What is his name? Leatherface. He died recently.
Hooper died,
and the Gunnar Hansen died as well. The guy who plays Leatherface.
Did he die too?
Yeah.
Oh. What?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna look this up. Hold on. There's a shot. So you said Gorefest. I'm like, yeah, it's not the Michael Bay one that was produced in 2003.
Oh yeah.
No, that one's fucking outrageous, dude. Whatever movies Michael Bay produces, like horror movies.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did Friday the 13th remake as well.
Yeah, and that's a boob fest. Like, it's not even like scary fest. It's just like, how many boobs can we fit in? How many times?
I think the coolest kill or scariest thing in that one was when the girl gets tied up over the fire with this in her sleeping bag. Was like, that is gnarly.
Oh, dude, Gunnar did die too.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
There's a shot from the first one though where he's like swinging the chainsaw around and you see like the whole field behind him like during the sunset. It's great.
Well, they cut her finger in that dinner scene in there, and they sliced her finger for real because they couldn't get the fake blood to work right. And finally, she's just like, "Just cut my finger for real," because you're in a Texas summer in a house with no AC, like, and it'd be miserable. So I get why she's like, just cut my finger. I'm over it. I'll get stitches. I don't care.
I couldn't do it, dude. Even as a director, I'd be like, no, we're not cutting your fucking finger. Like, what?
Sign the waiver. We'll do it.
Oh my god. That's not even accidental. That's on purpose. Like with Leonardo during the Django Unchained.
Yeah, with the blood on the face and everything.
Yeah, that was all an accident. But fucking, she's like, oh no, do it on purpose. Like,
yeah, that's a little intense.
So how far are you willing to go then as an actor? Like, is there any limitations that you set where you're like you wouldn't do a certain scene?
No, not really. Depending on what it adds to the film. If it's just pointless nonsense that's not going to make it into the cut anyway, or it doesn't add to the story, then no. But
is there a certain scene you always want to pull off eventually? Like a dream shot?
A dream shot. Something, trying to think. I do want, in Satanica, there's just a shot. It's not nothing scary or anything, but I want to build an actual log raft for a ferry kind of scene.
Yeah.
I just want that in it. I just want a ferry going across a snowy river.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's cold though. Hopefully this winter this year isn't too bad, but
I hope it's even worse than last year. As I wanted a blizzard shot. It didn't snow the whole time we were shooting.
Colorado.
I wanted a blizzard shot. I wanted that last shot to be pouring snow with, frost clinging to our hair and everything, but it didn't end up being that way. It was really nice the whole time, for the most part.
Where did they shoot for The Revenant? Just go there.
They did that in South America, if you can believe that, at the bottom of South America.
Jesus. I couldn't do that. Nope. That's how I kind of based off. I'm like, would I want to be in this location at this weather for one shot? I'm like, no.
Depends on how good the shot is. Yeah. I'd do a lot of things for a good shot.
Dude, one thing I want to do. So there's one photo of Michael Bay, because I know I just talked shit on him, but there's one cool photo of him where he's sitting behind a camera, and there's explosions all going off all around him, and debris hitting him in the face.
Yeah,
and he has this huge smile. I'm like, that'd be so fucking epic. So
yeah,
like be behind the camera and get this epic explosion.
Yeah,
like covered in debris,
I like stuff like that. There's a few scenes I want to shoot at some point of milestones like that, but I'll get there.
Yeah, baby steps. I think you're on the right path though with what I saw with your short film and all that. So.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching it. I'm glad that you dug it.
Yeah. No, I told you I was going to watch it. I told you. And I guess that was on Amazon Prime, and then I recently had to reset all my computer stuff.
Yeah.
Because the Skype thing freaked me out with the whole Russian language.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it this? But it's just Skype's website going to Russian out of nowhere.
Oh.
So I reset all my not my passwords, just cleared all my cache. So I had reset my Amazon, and I didn't know what my password was. So I had to go through a lot of hoops, but I thought it was worth it. So
yeah. Well, no, thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. I'm glad my phone's been blowing up next to me here because I just posted that new Laurel Award that we got, that new best horror film Laurel that we got today, and my phone's been blowing up this whole time. I'm blown away that people like it this much and that people believed in my weird script enough to help me shoot it.
Yeah, dude. And it's, for those of you who don't know, though, it is on Amazon Prime, right?
Mm-hmm. Amazon Prime, free to Prime members. I think it's $2 to buy. It's yours if you buy it for $2. That's it.
That's fun. And I was just going through your Facebook too before we got on here.
Mm-hmm.
You have a new song coming out tomorrow?
Sunday, May 31st. Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, just a new song. Blind States of America. That's what that one's called. New metal song.
Ooh, dude, that sounds like a Rage Against the Machine kind of song.
It's definitely very political. I've been very frustrated, and it was something I guess I just had to get off my chest. I haven't done an actual release song in probably since that album came out, The New Plague from Dysfunction came out in 2017. So I haven't done an actual release on Spotify since then. And I guess it was just something I had to get off my chest more, was the frustrations and everything. And the way that people fight with each other when they should not be each other, your neighbor's not your enemy. I guess that's not the cause of your suffering right now. And like that's one thing that's weird to me is people will start attacking each other a lot. And I guess it was just a new song that I had to get out there, and it might flop, it might not go anywhere, but it was something that I guess I just had to do for myself. But
yeah, the snippet I heard, I'm like, this is some brutal lyrics.
Yeah,
angry. I love it because I like metal, and I like all sorts of music, but like I listen to like a lot of the hardcore stuff. So
yeah, I like that stuff too.
Yeah.
You can hear the whole first album you can listen to if you want. It's on Spotify.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm so down for that, dude. I love like is there some epic breakdowns?
It's more it's got kind of the same vocals and a little bit of the writing style. It's a bit more like 90s thrash, a bit more in terms of the writing, as far as like the scales and progressions that go on. It's not got, I think it has 2 drop D tuning songs. Like I know the drop tuning is very important for those breakdowns and everything. And it's the 7 strings with the B and everything.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I was learning guitar, I was trying to learn Amon Amarth.
Oh yeah.
And like they had a drop A tuning.
Oh yeah. It's like, well, I got to go buy a new guitar for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know how low I can go without my strings being too loose.
Usually I've done a step and a half down on a 6 string, and that's usually as far as I'm willing to go.
There's one tuning for acoustic called Dadgad.
Yeah.
And it's all open.
Yeah, you can. It sounds great.
Yeah. No, seriously. And that's one tuning I actually want to learn, and like learn like all the scales for that, because it's such a melodic.
Yeah, it sounds pretty. Led Zeppelin has a lot of songs in that tuning, if I remember right.
Oh, do they?
I think so. If that's the tuning I'm thinking of. I know Led Zeppelin uses a specific tuning a lot on a few of their songs.
Fucking Zeppelin. Well, cool, dude. You don't have anything else to say? Can we put any more plugs in?
No, I think that's good. Did you have any more questions for me, or any way to how you like me to sign off this thing?
Let's end this with one more question for you.
Okay.
2 more. Let's do 2 more.
Okay.
You ready for these?
Yeah.
Number 1. How do you hope you can inspire others?
I hope that it's as far as it's never too late to try something new is what you hear a lot. It's never too late to do that. I think it's never too late to give up. And that sounds weird at first, but just because you've been doing something for years and years and years, it's not too late to call it quits and try something new if that thing's not making you happy anymore. Just because you've invested a large amount of time or sweat or blood or tears doesn't mean you're weak or wrong for walking away from that and realizing that you want to do something different.
Yeah. I can totally see that.
Yeah. It's never too late to quit what you're doing if you found something you love doing more.
And is that kind of how you've transitioned into all these different fields of the arts? Usually,
yeah. I'll find myself in a wall or a plateau or something, and I'll find something else. Like walking away from the band and music and everything after the tour was very, hard, all this time and effort and everything put into it. But it wasn't making me happy at the moment. It was a lot more of a drag, and I was in a really low place. And now I'm here. Now I have all these new friends, and now I have all these, awesome people that I know, and all these cool new projects that I wouldn't have done if I was like, well, I've put in all this time. I got to stick with this and only this. Like, it's never too late to call it quits and maybe pick it up again later.
So going back to the band then, what made it so hard to deal with? Like, why were you like one of your lowest?
Oh, I think it was more personal. I was just in a really low place headspace wise. And then getting back from the tour and being dirt broke is also not a great place to be in if you're not having a good time mentally. And so I guess I just kind of distanced myself more and more from that, and found this.
I like it. And then what's one piece of advice that has stuck to you throughout like all the years of pursuing art as a passion? And how do you apply it?
I think it was either my dad or somebody said, like, you can do anything for one day. So I guess it's no matter how bad it sucks or is beating you down, if it's something you need to do, you can do anything for one day. The sun's going to go down before you know it, and it's going to be a new day. And so I guess that is more translated into sticking through the crappy things that you got to deal with, like day jobs or, projects. If the project's not going the way that you want it that day, or it's really hard, it's whatever the hard stuff that you're going through. If it's something you want to stick to, just remember that you can do anything for a day, and then do anything for another day and another day. The day is real short when you think about it, and it's not that hard to stick it out through it.
No, I like that. That's a really cool piece of advice.
Yeah.
Abide by. The dude abides.
The dude abides.
Cool, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Where can people follow you? Where can people find your stuff?
The Dysfunction on Spotify or Apple Music is for the music. And I think we have a Facebook page for Free Reign Films. And then I'm at JR Curtis Actor on Instagram or Facebook, or you can just add me at JR Curtis. I'll probably accept you.
No Twitter? No Twitterverse?
I haven't gotten onto Twitter yet, no.
Dude, Twitter's fun. Twitter. I tell people Twitter's fun. And people are like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, well, it's less depressing, but then it's also very depressing, so I don't know.
I think my wife would shake me in the neck if I decided to get another social media platform. I'm already on my phone, so goddamn much anyway.
I get that. Well, everybody else, you can follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. So, dude, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on. You have a good one.